Which is the most important decision? On track. All of these is the correct answer. Market value of shares are decided by. Valid point. The investment market is true. A mortgage payment is an example of a. Clear logic. Your choice fixed expense is sound and 100% true. Something that you pay is called dash. Excellent choice. An expense is the right answer. Amount of fixed assets is decided by. Smart pick. Fixed capital is the correct choice. Secured and unsecured loan are loan. Correct. With collateral. Without collateral is the right answer. Return on investment is computed as. Good job. Your answer EBITDA total investment works well here. And acquisition is the same thing as. Solid response. A takeover is a valid choice. What is the primary goal of finance? Nice work. You chose to maximize profit, and it is correct. Withdrawing more money than you have? Excellent. Overdraft is a brilliant choice. The company will have cash when dash. You got it. Your choice customers pay faster is right. Dash is the lifeblood of a business. Great job. Finance is the accurate answer. Financial leverage is also known as. Right choice. Trading on equity is the best answer. When risk increase, the return will. Sharp thinking. Increase is the right choice. There are dash main types of banks. Exactly. 3 makes sense and it is right choice. Payment of monthly interest expense. Well picked. Operating activities is the correct answer. Financial controller is responsible. Strong choice. None of these is the right answer. Which does not belong to the group. Right again. Preference Share Redemption Fund is a valid answer. What does the T in SMART stand for? You chose timely, and it is correct. Dash are the debts owed to others. Correct response. Liabilities is the most accurate answer. Money that you make is called dash. Bravo. Income is the answer. What is the first financial model? Nicely done. Savings is a solid answer. The in SMART goals stands for. Well reasoned. Measurable is the correct choice. What is another word for currency? Good thinking. Money is the right answer. Future value interest factor takes. Nice selection. Compounding is the correct and valid answer. Investment decision is also called. Well done. Capital budgeting is the right choice. Portfolio investment is dealing in. Smart move. Different security is an accurate answer. Objectives of financial management. Great thinking. All of these is the right choice. Retained earnings falls under dash. Perfect. Dividend decision is the correct choice. The formula for compound value is. You're right. FV equal to PVN is the correct answer. Bad debts refers to default cost. Exactly. True, makes sense, and it is right choice. Retirement of entity-issued bonds. Correct. Financing activities is the right answer. Assessed easily converted into cash. Smart pick. Liquid assets is the correct choice. Retained earnings are affected by. Right again. Dividend decision is a valid answer. Anything that you spend money on? Solid response. Expense is a valid choice. The cheapest source of finance is? Perfect. Debenture is the correct choice. Sum of money that is owned or due? Well reasoned. RBD is the correct choice. Financing decisions relate to the. Bravo. Acquisition of capital is the answer. Dash is a motive of holding cash. Excellent. Precaution motive is a brilliant choice. Long-term fund sources are dash. Well picked. All of the above is the correct answer. What is the process of budgeting? Strong choice. Allocating financial resources is the right answer. The costs of operating a business. You got it? Your choice expenses is right. More value is preferred than dash. Clear logic. Your choice less is sound and 100% true. Operating leverage measures dash. Nicely done. Business risk is a solid answer. Issuance of bonds to obtain cash. Great job. Financing activities is the accurate answer. Analysis simply means dash data. Good job. Your answer simplification works well here. Trading on equity is possible on. You chose debentures. And it is correct. A firm's financing costs include. Good thinking. Interest expense is the right answer. Financial planning helps in dash. Correct response. Forecasting business situations is the most accurate answer. We bought a second home to rent. Nice selection. Investing is the correct and valid answer. Row and row are measures of dash. Excellent choice. Profitability is the right answer. Quick assets do not include dash. Smart move. Inventory is an accurate answer. While liabilities refers to dash. Right choice. All of the above is the best answer. The charge for borrowing money. Well done. Interest is the right choice. How many months are in 4 years? You're right. 48 is the correct answer. Dividend is distributed through. Nice work. You chose profits and it is correct. Decrease in accounts receivable. Great thinking. Operating activities is the right choice. An owner of shares in a company. Sharp thinking. Shareholders is the right choice. Positive leverage effect brings. Valid point. Gain for equity shareholders is true. Dividend decision is related to. On track. Reinvestment requirement is the correct answer. Dash decision are irreversible. Smart pick. Capital budgeting decision is the correct choice. Reason for time value of money. Smart move. All the above is an accurate answer. Financing decision comes under. Strong choice. Financial decision is the right answer. Financial claims to all assets. Correct response. Equity is the most accurate answer. High debt-equity ratio implies. You're right. High financial risk is the correct answer. Putting money away for later as. Well reasoned. Savings is the correct choice. Dash is financial institution. Great job. Commercial bank is the accurate answer. Purchase of land and building. Right again. Investing activities is a valid answer. A share having no face value? Good thinking. No par share is the right answer. Business finance is a part of. Exactly. Private finance makes sense, and it is right choice. I am going to buy a new bike. Perfect. Spending is the correct choice. Two types of bank accounts are sharp thinking. Checking and savings is the right choice. The data collected should be well picked. Accurate is the correct answer. How company raises money is. Bravo, financing role is the answer. The acronym COG stands for. Excellent. Cost of goods sold is a brilliant choice. In a way that doesn't change. Good job. Your answer consistency works well here. An example of open credit is solid response. A credit card is a valid choice. Fee paid for borrowing money. Clear logic. Your choice interest is sound and 100% true. Increase in accounts payable. Excellent choice. Operating activities is the right answer. If ICR is high, firm prefers. Nice selection. Debt is the correct and valid answer. Cost of retained earnings is. Great thinking. Opportunity cost of capital is the right choice. Assessed we can see and touch. Nice work. You chose tangible assets, and it is correct. Financing decisions involve. You got it. Your choice debt equity decisions is right. Things you can live without? Right choice. Once is the best answer. Greater exposure, bigger there. You chose risk, and it is correct. Money earned through work. On track. Income is the correct answer. Head of Finance Department. Nicely done. Finance Manager is a solid answer. Financial instruments are. Correct. All of the above is the right answer. The formula of EBIT equal to dash. Valid point. Contribution fixed cost is true. Purchase of treasury stock. Well done. Financing activities is the right choice. Intangible fixed assets is. Correct. Patent right is the right answer. Examples of cash outflows. Strong choice. Electricity, rent is the right answer. Operating leverage equal to dash. Great thinking. Contribution EBIT is the right choice. Payment of cash dividends. Nice selection. Financing activities is the correct and valid answer. Convert 35% to a decimal. Well done. The 35 is the right choice. When was Byju's founded? Smart move. 2011 is an accurate answer. Financial planning links. Sharp thinking. Investment and financing decisions is the right choice. Cash dividends payments. Clear logic. Your choice operating activities is sound and 100% true. What is related to debt? Nice work. You chose low cost, high risk, and it is correct. Capital structure shows. Well reasoned. Debt equity ratio is the correct choice. Working capital may be. Good job. Your answer, any one of them works well here. Income from investment. Correct response. Return is the most accurate answer, which is not in assets. Solid response. Note payable is a valid choice. Current assets include. Exactly. Inventory makes sense, and it is right choice. Debenture holders are. Well picked. Creditors of the company is the correct answer. Financial manager is. Excellent choice. All of above is the right answer. Cost of raising funds. Excellent. Flotation cost is a brilliant choice. Finance functions are. You're right. All the above is the correct answer. TVM stands for what? Smart pick. Time value of money is the correct choice. Present value takes. Great job. Discounting rate is the accurate answer. What a company owns. Nicely done. Assets is a solid answer. What does CEO mean? Right choice. Chief Executive Officer is the best answer. What is factoring? Bravo. New financial service is the answer. What is research? On track. All of the above is the correct answer. CAP stands for. Perfect. Capital amount pricing model is the correct choice. Intrinsic value. You got it? Your choice. Essential value is right. What is a bond? You chose a long-term debt, and it is correct. ROI stands for. Valid point. Return on investment is true. Money you owe. Good thinking. Debt is the right answer. What is SCR? Right again. Debt service coverage ratio is a valid answer.